My name's Colonel Jeff Pixley. I'm the commander of basic military training. Thank you for joining the United States Air Force. Thank you for raising your hand and promising to give of yourself, to sacrifice, to do something that most Americans never do. You probably want to know how to be successful in basic military training. Fight for yourself. Don't give up on yourself, and when you're about to, work with each other, lean on each other, because you'll be successful when you're a team.
Remember why you are here. Remember those people that came before you. Everything that you do needs to come with a passion and a vigor that is unmatched.
When you leave basic military training, you're going to understand how to wear the uniform. You're going to understand what it is to live by the core values, and you're going to know the value of your teammates. If you live up to my expectations, you'll be here 7 weeks from today, and you'll be about to graduate.
At this time, we'd like to take a moment to inform you of the specific flight locations on the parade field, as viewed from the bleachers, from your left to your right. Flight 584, led by Technical Sergeant Xavier Clark. Flight 585, led by Staff Sergeant Dylan Farrell. Flight 586, led by Staff Sergeant Aline Garcia. Academic and PT Excellence Flight, Flight 587, led by Staff Sergeant Matthias Tesero. Flight 588, led by Technical Sergeant Jermaine Ramsey. Flight 589, led by Master Sergeant Jonathan Ridley. In the center of the parade field is the color guard, led by Technical Sergeant Darrell Baldwin. The Drum and Bugle Corps, Flight 597, led by Technical Sergeant Delaney Miles. The flights selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags are Flights 590 and 591, led by Staff Sergeant Adam Parrish. Flight 592, led by Technical Sergeant Michael Hurd. Flight 593, led by Staff Sergeant Griffin Bryan. Flight 594, led by Technical Sergeant Robert Gauthier. Flight 595, led by Technical Sergeant Matthew Garak. Flight 596, led by Staff Sergeant Jonathan Farino. At this time, please find a place to sit. Thank you and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Gwynn.
I invite you to join with me in prayer this morning. Gracious and almighty God, we pause and thank you for this joyous occasion that brings us together as airmen, leaders, families, and friends. We celebrate on this special occasion, this day of achievement, these airmen of the 320th Training Squadron. We recognize the sacrifices made to become members of the world's greatest air force, the separation from family and loved ones, the weeks of training, the physical demands, all that brought them here ready today to serve. May these Gators of the 320th Training Squadron always live with honor, knowing that you can't stop the rock. We recognize that these airmen did not arrive here on their own. So we thank you for their families and friends who have equally made sacrifices to make this day possible. We offer our gratitude of the men and women of the 320th Training Squadron who invested countless hours into these airmen. Loving God, we ask your blessing upon these families, friends, instructors, and staff for their investment that they have made into each of these airmen. We thank you, O God, for these airmen who have entered into service of our nation. With the solidarity of the words of the prophet Isaiah, "Here am I, Lord, send me." So we ask that you, Lord, would send these airmen as agents of light in the midst of darkness, peace in the midst of chaos, hope in the midst of distress. May you empower them with your strength, equip them with your wisdom, and encourage them with your presence and guidance. For these men and women about to graduate, and for all military personnel around the world, we ask in the words of the prophet, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and to be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. In your most holy name we do pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's basic military training graduation ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony, the Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Colonel Jeff Pixley, accompanied by his wife, Andrea. The Acting Senior Enlisted Leader, Air Force Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Alan Frank. The Reviewing Official, the Director of Operations and Communications, Headquarters, Air Education and Training Command, Brigadier General Randy Oakland. From the Graduating Squadron, the Commander, 320th Training Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Gerald Fensterer, accompanied by his wife, Gina. The Acting Senior Enlisted Leader, 320th Training Squadron, Master Sergeant Jared Hasty Milton. Also in attendance with us today, the Vice Commander, 37th Training Wing, Colonel John Odell, accompanied by his wife, Josefina. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737th Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Our Commander of Airmen is Master Sergeant Christopher Rolfe. Brigadier General Randy Oakland will review today's ceremony.
Hands up!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Over the last 7.5 weeks, the men and women before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warriors with a foundation to serve in the most powerful military the world has ever known. Once they leave basic military training, they will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of 118 specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of 84 installations around the globe or work directly with our sister services. As they move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the armed forces. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment. These graduates are the future of our national defense and will pave the way for generations that will follow. Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base, San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence. the Commander's Excellence Streamer is awarded to Flight 587 for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 18 July 2022 to 2 September 2022. Signed, Jeffrey Pixley, Colonel, United States Air Force. The Commander's excellent flight was led by Staff Sergeant Matthias Tesoro and Technical Sergeant J.R. Robbins. Of the hundreds of thousands of American citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the United States military. The graduates before you have reached a milestone in their military journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of musical honors. Thank you. Please be seated.
Sir, I present the command. Have the command in review. Each post, arch.
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates passing in review today represent a portion of the 35,000 men and women who will complete basic military training this year. The 737th Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the world's greatest air and space forces. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the Airmen and Guardians. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Armed Forces. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass and review, they will march over the Enlisted Heroes Walk. The men and women recognized on the pavers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States military in armed conflict. Their decorations include 9 Medals of Honor, 23 Air Force Crosses, and 162 Silver Stars, awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all service members to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. We would like to direct your attention to our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. As a reminder, military members and veterans in uniform will stand at attention and render a salute. We ask that our civilian guests stand and place their right hand over their heart. Veterans and military members not in uniform may either render a salute or place their right hand over their heart. Once the flags have passed, please be courteous of others and be seated in order to allow all our guests the opportunity to view the flights as they pass in review. Flight 587, led by Staff Sergeant Matthias Tesero, military training instructor, hometown, Buffalo, New York. Flight 588, led by Technical Sergeant Jermaine Ramsey, military training instructor, hometown, Blakely, Georgia. Flight 589, led by Master Sergeant Jonathan Ridley, military training instructor, hometown, hometown, LaSalle, Indiana. The Color Guard, led by Technical Sergeant Gerald Baldwin, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Southern Pines, North Carolina. The flight selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags, flights 590 and 591, led by Staff Sergeant Adam Parrish, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Zachary, Louisiana. Flight 592, led by Technical Sergeant Michael Hurd, Master Military Training Instructor, hometown, Dallas, Texas. Flight 593, led by Staff Sergeant Griffin Bryant, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Traverse City, Michigan. Flight 594, led by Technical Sergeant Robert Gauthier, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Navarre, Florida. Flight 595, led by Technical Sergeant Matthew Garak, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Westland, Michigan. Flight 596, led by Staff Sergeant Jonathan Farino, Military Training Instructor, hometown, Fresno, California. Ladies and gentlemen, rendering a flying salute to our graduated airmen is a C-5 Galaxy, call sign Chili 27. Chili 27's loadmasters are Master Sergeant Mike Lopez and Master Sergeant Will Jalomo, with flight engineers Master Sergeant Dave Ortegon and Technical Sergeant Anthony Sandoval. Chili 27 is flown by Lieutenant Colonel Sam McConnelly and Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Schimmelfinning. Lieutenant Colonel Schimmelfinning is a 1991 BMT graduate and is the father of Airman Basic Kyle Schimmelfinning, graduating today from Flight 586. This aircraft is from the 356th Airlift Squadron, 433rd Airlift Wing, Kelly Field, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing and singing of the Air Force song. Thank you. You may be seated. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our honor graduates, as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all graduates in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence they displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the flights march forward for the oath of enlistment, Your words of encouragement helped motivate these graduates through 7.5 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States military and basic military training, we extend our thanks to the many families and friends of America for your support of our mission and the greatest air and space power the world has ever known. Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Randy Oakland will now come forward and address our graduating class.
Good morning and welcome. It's an honor to celebrate this important event with all the families who were able to join us today. 7.5 weeks ago, you entrusted us with our nation's most valuable treasure, these 589 graduates that you see before you today. Your support pushed them to complete basic military training and to join the world's greatest Air Force. On behalf of these graduates and a grateful nation, I want to thank you for your support, your encouragement, and your trust. Today is an important day. It's an important day for our family and our friends, as our graduates continue on in their training and eventually take their place in operational units across the globe. They will continue to rely on your love and your support. You have every right to be proud of them. And I also know that today comes with mixed emotions, as these men and women dedicate themselves to our nation's service. For me, this past June marked 30 days of service since I left my own hometown to join the Air Force. And I can tell you that the love and support of my family continue to sustain me today. As a father, son, and brother in a 300,000 plus strong United States active duty military Air Force. Please know that we are grateful for you and for the trust that you place in us as we take on the important role of shaping the lives and futures of your incredible airmen. Today is also an important day for our nation. To stand before you today, these airmen demonstrated their ability to meet the rigorous demands of basic military training, the most fundamental military training that we provide. We consider this training an irreplaceable foundation upon which every other skill must be built. There is no substitute, and by their performance in our merit-based system, they have earned the privilege of calling themselves airmen. Airmen who fly, fight, and win, employing air power anytime, anywhere. Less than 0.5% of our nation have answered this call to service on active duty, and we are justifiably proud to welcome them into our ranks. But they didn't just enter into any service. They entered into the United States Air Force. Our proud heritage includes the pivotal role of the women Air Force service pilots and Tuskegee Airmen in World War II. Our heritage includes people like Medal of Honor winner William Pitzenberger from Piqua, Ohio, whose parents wouldn't let him join the Army as a junior in high school, but who later joined the Air Force. And he went on to fly 300 missions as a pararescueman in Vietnam, selflessly saving over 60 people's lives. Our heritage includes Medal of Honor winner John Levideau, born in Hartford, Connecticut, who wanted to join the Navy, but made a better decision to join the Air Force instead. He started out in civil engineering, and then he cross-trained to be a loadmaster, and went on to save his entire 8-person AC-47 crew by throwing himself on a burning flare during a combat mission over Vietnam. Pitzenberger and Levideau exemplify our heritage and what it means to be ready. This graduating class is entering into service at a historic inflection point marked by great power competition. As recently demonstrated in Eastern Europe, we must be prepared to defend our borders and those of our allies against the very real threat of invasion by powerful enemies. We must also refuse to give any ground to our strategic pacing competitor as we observe China continuing to pour substantial resources and effort into developing advanced military capabilities. And today's graduation marks the first step in ensuring readiness. And it's a reminder that our highly trained and empowered airmen are truly our greatest advantage. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, today's an important day for our graduates themselves. You answered the call to service when others didn't, and you will be changed forever because of it. The things you learned here in BMT will continue to serve as keys to success throughout your Air Force journey. Dedication, teamwork, resilience, they're not just helpful in training, they're fundamental to our mission success. From here, you will pursue excellence in an assigned specialty. And we literally cannot achieve success without you, and without the critical tasks that you will perform. Every specialty is important in its own right, but true capability results from combining those specialties into a team of teams. So welcome to the team. We need you and your teammates to bring your best every single day. I offer the graduating class 3 challenges as you take the next step on your journey. Number 1, do what's right, even if others aren't. Number 2, if you make a mistake, admit it, own it, and take proactive steps to ensure it doesn't happen again. And number 3, always remember that you are part of the world's greatest fighting force, and you're never alone. You and your team are stronger than a couple of bad experiences. In closing, I want to thank you for volunteering to serve our nation. Service is personal. You've earned my respect for answering the call. Congratulations on a job well done. I am confident our nation's future is brighter than ever before because you are celebrating this milestone here today. And now I just have one question for you. Are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest Air Force? I think they're ready.
Instructors, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Brigadier General Randy Oakland will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Now raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Gerald,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States,
and I will obey the orders of the President of the United States,
and the orders of the officers appointed over me,
and the orders of the officers appointed over me,
according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Airmen, and welcome to the world's greatest Air Force.
Thank you, Brigadier General Randy Oakland. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing while our graduates recite the Airman's Creed and for the departure of the official party. I am an American Airman.
I